Welcome to the Time of Your Life with the Baltimore County Department of Aging. I'm your host, Ethel Rasmussen. As always, the Time of Your Life is about sharing resources for living your best life and dedicated to keeping you well informed about the programs and services that are exclusively designed for you. You can also connect with BCDA through the agency's multimedia platforms that include the agency's website, Facebook, the Time of Your Life Digest, Flickr, and Map, as well as an abundance of printed resources. For professionals, please consider viewing posts on LinkedIn for current programs and services to share with clients, residents, or patients, as well as BCDA's professional educational opportunities, such as BCDA's Senior Solutions Virtual Conference on May 9th and 11th. Connections to BCDA are stronger than ever, so encourage all of our viewers to take advantage of the many options we offer. This edition of The Time of Your Life offers valuable information for all viewers. Let's start with World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, which is annually recognized on June 15th to educate the public about the tragedy of elder abuse. Lynn McCamie, manager of the Ombudsman program at the Baltimore County Department of Aging, is on the show to share information about elder abuse, its signs, prevalence, as well as the organizations and events that support education. We continue the show with information about the digital divide, which refers to a gap that prevents individuals from access to technology. Dan Scotten, Digital Inclusion Coordinator at the Department of Aging, is on the show to share information about BCDA's free gifting program that provides a Google Chromebook to adults over the age of 60 who financially qualify. Stay tuned to learn whether you are eligible. Today's show starts with information about Older Americans Month and how BCDA is translating the theme of this special month to senior center programs. Let's start with Carolyn Cook, Wellness Specialist at the Baltimore County Department of Aging. Carolyn, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ethel. Good morning. It's good to be back.
Before we start our discussion about exciting news from Baltimore County Senior Centers, let's talk about Older Americans Month, celebrated annually in May. Can you share information about Older Americans Month with our viewers?
I can. So many positive aspects of growing older, and everyone has a role to play in combating ageism. And we all benefit when older adults remain engaged, independent, and included in their communities. Older Americans Month celebrates this. This year is a special anniversary since it's the 60th anniversary of Older Americans Month, which was formerly known as Senior Citizens Month. Older Americans Month was established in 1963 by President John F. Kennedy and members of the National Council of Senior Citizens. Every president since Kennedy has acknowledged the celebratory month with a formal proclamation asking the entire country to recognize older citizens and their many contributions and achievements. The Administration for Community Living identifies an annual theme each year, with 2023 being Aging Unbound. Aging Unbound speaks to personal narratives since one's aging experience is so diverse. The theme also promotes the importance of enjoying independence and fulfillment by creating the life that is best for you. The Baltimore County Department of Aging promotes that age is not a determining factor to define one's capabilities or limits. We have seen many senior center members in their late 90s participating in BCDA's events, including our annual Run Walk event that happens in September. So remaining engaged, BCDA senior centers offer exercise classes and many other options to enhance the lives of our members as well as social relationships.
Carolyn, the Older Americans Month theme, Aging Unbound, speaks to this segment since we're talking about BCDA's fitness centers. Can you briefly share information about the importance of exercise at any age and how it relates to overall health, wellness, and independence?
Sure. There have been many studies conducted over many years on the effects of exercise on an individual. So not just older adults, but younger children, middle-aged people. There are health risks for people who don't live an active lifestyle. By not having regular exercise, you raise your risk of obesity, heart disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, stroke, metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes, and even certain types of cancers. But the health benefits of exercise are overcome so much of that. So exercise improves your memory and your brain function, protects against those chronic diseases that we just talked about. It aids in weight management, lowers blood pressure and improves heart health, improves your quality of sleep, and who doesn't want that? Reduces feelings of anxiety and depression. It combats cancer-related fatigue. It improves joint pain and stiffness. It maintains muscle strength and balance, and it can also increase your lifespan.
BCDA senior centers have fitness centers available for use by its members. Can you share information about our fitness centers as well as the amenities that they offer?
Sure. So we have 21 senior centers in Baltimore County, and 14 of them have fitness centers. So there's some really exciting things going on, but these fitness centers have everything that an individual needs for exercising the heart, for cardiovascular work, for building muscle strength, for building muscle endurance, for flexibility to maintain or increase the range of movement in the joints. So they have all that equipment that's available.
Excellent. Carolyn, I understand BCDA is offering a new pricing structure along with incentives and personal training specials in May. Please share information about those savings for our viewers.
Sure. So this is very exciting. BCDA prior to March 1st had fitness studios and fitness centers. Well, we have merged them all into fitness centers. We have new equipment coming to all of the fitness centers, which is really exciting. And so the new pricing structure, previously fitness studios and fitness centers had different pricing structures. Now they have the same pricing structure. So it's $80 for a full year's membership. I'll say with that you have to be a member of that particular senior center. And if you decide that you just want to join for 6 months, it's a nominal $50 for 6 months.
Outstanding. So wonderful to hear that BCDA has so many options to support our membership and helping them to remain fit at very reasonable rates with locations across Baltimore County. Let's switch gears now to share information about BCDA's newly installed touchscreen kiosk system called Baltimore County Programs, Activities, and Socialization for Seniors, known as BC Past. Please talk about this new check-in system at our 20 senior centers.
Well, we are thrilled to be offering BC Pass in this new check-in system. So it replaces a paper sign-in. So if you've been a part of a senior center that you're signing in for your classes, you're signing in when you go to the center. So each member will receive what we call like a little key fob, and it has a scanning code on it. So when you come into the center, there's a large screen there, and you just swipe your scan card and it comes up with your name, and then it comes up with all the options for the activities for that day. So like I said, it's large screen, so it's easy to see. It's touch screen as well. So because it's large screen, it's easy to touch as well. So we're very excited about that. It's very user friendly. So with this as well, if someone is going to different or multiple senior centers, their card works at every single senior center. So that's a huge convenience. Yeah, and that's about it. It's really exciting. We've been working hard to get it up and running, and it's wonderful.
That is exciting news. Carolyn, thank you for taking time from your busy schedule to share such wonderful information with our viewers.
No, thank you, Ethel.
We're going to take a short break, but first, join approximately 8,000 mature adults who subscribe to BCDA's newspaper, The Time of Your Life Digest. Subscriptions are $5 annually for Baltimore County residents over 60 years of age and $7 for those under 60 who are Baltimore County residents or residing in other areas. For subscriber information, please call 410-887-3050 or email digest@baltimorecountymd.gov.
Did you get a call or message that mentioned Social Security that made you feel threatened or scared? That is not the Social Security Administration. Social Security will not threaten you, press you for personal information, or demand instant payment. Social Security does not accept payments by gift card, prepaid debit card, internet currency, or by mailing cash. Criminals use these forms of payment because they are hard to trace. Don't fall for it. Hang up, ignore them. Report this criminal activity to oig.ssa.gov.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Welcome back to The Time of Your Life. I'm your host, Ethel Rasmussen. Education about elder abuse supports a critical preventative measure to empower all citizens. With us today is Lynn McCamie, Ombudsman Manager at the Baltimore County Department of Aging, who will share what the public needs to know about elder abuse, along with special educational events such as World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. Lynn, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be here today.
Lynn, World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, known as WEAAD, was launched on June 15, 2006 by the International Network for the Prevention of Elder Abuse and the World Health Organization at the United Nations. What is the purpose of WEAAD?
WEAAD is an educational platform where we have the opportunity to build alliances. And in Baltimore County, we've done that between the Department of Aging, Department of Social Services, Legal Services, law enforcement, private citizens to help do prevention and education of elder abuse. We make sure that everybody in the Baltimore County area, whether you are an older adult, a professional, or just someone who's concerned and you want to make sure that elder abuse and its many strains is not affecting someone in your community, program, or service. And if it is, what are some things that can be done to prevent? And who are some agencies that actually would have investigation options to ensure safety for a vulnerable adult or an older adult? This ranges from anyone in the community all the way up to anyone who may be in those long-term care settings.
Please share information about elder abuse, including its signs, prevalence, and options for reporting.
I'm so glad that you asked that. Elder abuse does have a very detailed definition, and I wanted to read that to you just to give our viewers a chance to know what the state of Maryland sees as elder abuse. It is the mental or physical mistreatment of a person, frequently resulting in serious emotional, mental, physical, and/or sexual injuries. An act or failure to act that results in possibly the mistreatment or immediate serious harm to someone. The state of Maryland wants all to know that there are five major strains of elder abuse. You have physical abuse, psychological or emotional abuse, neglect, self neglect. Sometimes people lump those together, but they can be very different, but still under one guise of neglect. Sexual abuse and financial abuse or financial exploitation. If you are in the community, some individuals may say financial abuse, but if you're in a long term care, I'm sorry, financial exploitation, but if you're in a long term care setting, you might hear the words financial abuse, but the root is financial at that point. Some signs and symptoms for physical abuse: you may see bruises, whelps, burns. There may be a level of disorientation by the individual due to over medication, and it could be a history of multiple hospitalizations due to injuries. Some signs and symptoms for psychological or emotional abuse could be sudden changes in sleeping or eating habits, fearfulness, isolation, agitation, and maybe a sudden change in feeling of self worth. Some signs for neglect are untreated bed sores or injuries or medical problems, hunger, malnutrition and dehydration, absence of heat or air or prescribed medications, and poor hygiene or lack of clean bedding or clothing. Some signs and symptoms for self neglect. Usually, this is going to be happening if a person lives alone with little or no support networks. Some of those signs may be depression, feeling as though there's no way to continue moving forward, decreased mental and physical activity, and you may see a lot of wandering or confusion about how to get from point A to point B. Some signs and symptoms for sexual abuse include painful urination or being able to relieve your bowels, difficult in walking and sitting, torn, strained, or bloody clothing or undergarments, and maybe infections in their genital or anal areas, irritations or discharge may happen as well. And the last one is financial abuse or financial exploitation, which we probably see or hear more about through the news or various programs might be talking about how to protect against financial abuse. But some of those signs may be non payment of bills, eviction, or utility turnoff notices, changes to legal documents that they don't really understand what they're doing, but they're being told to make those changes. Missing assets or funds that they can't account for. Suspicious signatures on either formal documents or checks. Unusual banking activity, maybe starting to use more of the ATMs when they actually were always doing banking directly inside the building. And the last one could be the abuser's standard of living either rises or drops suddenly without explanation of what that might be happening. These are just some of the signs and symptoms. There may be other things that would also fall into those categories. Those are the main ones that we see most often, but there's always the opportunity to engage with BC Rest so we can share or figure out if there's more going on at that particular time.
Lynn, the Baltimore County Restoring Elder Safety Today, known as BC Rest, is a coalition working to educate and empower communities about the tragedy of elder abuse. Please share information about BC Rest.
So BC Rest, through its educational, preventional platform, wants to make sure that everybody is aware of abuse. And you can do that by looking around and taking note what might be happening in the surroundings. Seeing if the individual seems withdrawn or nervous or fretful, if they start engaging with certain people, maybe changing some of their habits, not going out as much and secluding themselves or being secluded, I should say. You also may have the opportunity to keep in contact. Encourage individuals to talk to their friends, neighbors, and relatives. Maintaining a level of communication will help decrease some of that isolation that might be happening. It also gives them a chance to talk to others about the problems that might be happening. You might be able to volunteer, become involved in programs that provide assistance and supports to older adults or individuals living in the community that may be of need. And then reporting. Report suspected mistreatment. Report your concerns to your local adult protective service agency, which would be responsible for looking at vulnerable adults, usually who are living in the community and fall between the ages of 18 to 59. Um, you would also be able to contact law enforcement, and there might be the opportunity if the individual is in a long term care setting to make contact with the Ombudsman's program in those nursing homes or assisted livings. There's a shared opportunity between APS for those that live in assisted livings. So you might call APS or you might call the Ombudsman's program, and we might tag team those together if need be. You don't have to worry about having all the facts if you are reporting. The two entities, Adult Protective Services and the Ombudsman's program, would be able to walk through any specifics of an investigation. So you don't have to worry about having all the facts. Just report the concern. It could save the person's life.
What is the role of BC Rest in the annual WEAAD event, including some other events planned?
So the role of BC Rest is, again, through an education platform. We try to make sure that we have information in regards to elder abuse and its multiple strains, where to report, and ensuring that the community is aware of how to get connected to agencies that do investigation for a vulnerable adult or someone who's in a long-term care setting. But our main role is to do education. The coalition itself doesn't do the investigation, but they would be connecting you to any entities that need to bring about the safety. Again, Adult Protective Services, Ombudsman's program, or maybe even contacting law enforcement if there are safety issues from a law standpoint being broken.
Lynn, why is it critical to acknowledge June 15th as a way to advocate and educate the general public on behalf of older adults?
So that is a national day, which marks, hopefully, people will stop, pay attention, learn, be able to take that information back to the various entities that either they work with from a professional standpoint or those old adults that live in the community. Maybe it would even trigger someone to want to volunteer with an organization that also is providing safety or opportunities to stay engaged with older adults in the community. This year, we're going to be having two events. One event would help us to educate older adults themselves, and then one event would help us to educate professionals on elder abuse. And I'm happy to say that we're going to be taking our presentations directly to seniors throughout Baltimore County. Either they're in senior centers or they're in Eating Together programs. And then we will open our professional one through a virtual opportunity where professionals all around the world can participate. And we're going to do that in conjunction with the Charles E. Smith Foundation.
In closing, do you have any final remarks regarding WEAAD?
So, just want to remind people that is one very important day where the spotlight goes on elder abuse. It's a way to help keep people, older adults, hopefully to live longer, be safe, understand who the agencies are, and how to reach out for help if and when they need it, or to make contact with BC Rest if you'd like for us to come and do a free presentation. Free, free, free.
Thank you, Lynn. We're going to take a short break, but first, BCDA's Senior Solutions Virtual Conference for Professionals is May 9th and 11th. Social workers receive CEU credits. To request a registration brochure, please call 410-887-2002.
Hi there, I'm Jessica Rosenworcel, the chairwoman of the Federal Communications Commission. And the FCC just launched an exciting new internet discount program that I'd like to tell you about. The cost of broadband is out of reach for far too many people in this country, and not having an internet connection limits opportunities for work, education, healthcare, and so much more. But help is here with the new Affordable Connectivity Program, or ACP. Congress recently enacted this program, which provides most eligible households with up to a $30 discount off their monthly internet bill. And if you live on tribal lands, the discount goes up to $75. To see if you qualify, to learn how to enroll, and to get more information about the program, visit fcc.gov/ACP.
Welcome back to The Time of Your Life. I'm your host, Ethel Rasmussen. Having the ability to use technology and connect to the internet is critical in today's world for so many reasons. Daniel Scotten, Digital Inclusion Coordinator at the Baltimore County Department of Aging, is on the show to share information about BCDA's Technology Gift Program. Dan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for the invitation. I'm really pleased to be here and share the information about such a wonderful program for mature adults.
BCDA has introduced a new technology gift program providing eligible mature adults with free Chromebooks. Can you share information about the program?
Yeah, the Baltimore County Department of Aging is gifting Google Chromebooks to mature adults, residents of Baltimore County who would benefit from connecting to valuable internet resources. The program includes a free Chromebook, weekly technological support, assistance in applying for free or low-cost Wi-Fi through the Affordable Connectivity Program, registration for classes at the Opal Center, which is BCDA's virtual senior center, as well as optional training classes. BCDA's tech giveaway was made possible by grants that has enabled us to distribute over 800 devices. It's our intention to place these devices in the hands of those who meet the criteria and financially qualify for our program.
Dan, why is this an important resource for mature adults to have?
Well, we found that during the pandemic, adults over the age of 60 were much more susceptible to social isolation due to being one of the least connected groups to technology. We've learned that offering technology training to older adults, there's been an improvement in their quality of life, physically, social interactions, and overall mental health. Through internet connections, our clients have been able to benefit from virtual telehealth appointments with physicians, find better employment, create new streams of income, even just video chatting with family and friends, email correspondence, and then attending virtual evidence-based programs from BCDA's Opal program.
Can you share information needed for the application and requirements to participate in this amazing program?
Oh, absolutely. The application is fairly simple and easy to complete. It requires basic information such as your name, address, phone number, email, income, and race. These questions help us gather better demographics information about Baltimore's older adults, as well as assist in the qualifying process. We ask about the status of the applicant in relation to Baltimore County and why they're requesting a device. The final question is related to whether they need assistance to apply for the ACP, which I mentioned earlier. That's a federal program that works on making internet more accessible to those who financially qualify. Those over the age of 60 residing in Baltimore County or are members of a Baltimore County Senior Center are encouraged to apply. Applicants who do not meet income requirements, meaning that they are under 200% of the federal poverty level, for a single person that's $27,180, and then it's $36,620 for a couple. Those that participate in other federal public assistance programs such as SNAP, Medicaid, or receive housing assistance may also qualify. Applicants should also have the ability to use the device without assistance or attend technology trainings offered by the BCDA in partnership with Senior Planet. It should also be noted that we can only give one device per household.
This is such an important program. In closing, do you have any final remarks to share with our audience?
So our goal is to ensure that mature adults can stay connected to support successful aging. BCDA's objective is to close that digital divide affecting so many mature adults. With this program, we really hope that we can help as many as possible and then train our clients in how to use their devices with all services free of charge.
Dan, thank you for taking time to be with us to share important details about this program.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And that's today's show. Thank you for spending your time with us. Please remember you can call the Department of Aging's information line, call Maryland Access Point of Baltimore County or MAP at 410-887-2594 with questions pertaining to older adults and persons with disabilities. This show may also be viewed at any time on the internet at www.baltimorecountymd.gov/videos with open captioning. That brings us to the conclusion of this edition of The Time of Your Life, a National Mature Media Award winner, about the services and contemporary topics that keep you in the know. Until next time.